Hello. Hello. How are you guys? I feel like we just like talk recently because we actually did talk a lot last night. So I feel like as if I don't know, I woke up with you guys. Like I feel like there's no need for me to say hi to you. Like we already said hi. Yeah. You know when you have that feeling that I'm like, yeah, I'm telling you hi, but somehow I'm like, I talked to you before. Hey, Sana. You know, guys, I was noticing that this Venus, Chinese Venus, is very. Some of them are the same as the people that we talk about, the group that we talk about in the other life. So I'm going to try to make it as fun and dynamic as possible because the description is going to be very, very similar. Um, there's not much. Oh my. There isn't any novelty. I believe that we have three members that have the same placement. Scorpio, Leo, Leo. Where is it? Yeah, but the description, hey Marushka, hey Fluffy, but the description is in a general basis is the same. Like the characteristics are the same. Like Venus in Aquarius, like I'm going to start talking about Onius, Venus in Aquarius, and you know the characteristics of Venus in Aquarius, it doesn't change that much. But yeah, we can add also like about his other placements, of course. Yeah, they are four, right? Hey, Laura. Do you know which group you're gonna do next? No, I'm actually going back very frequently to the post that I did to see if people are just like mentioning a new group or if you are like putting likes to someone's comment. I believe the one that had a lot of likes, not like a lot. I think that it was 2 likes or 3. It was Itsy, so probably I will do Itsy next week, and also to introduce a bit of girl energy. Yeah, Vino is a Venus in Scorpio. The only one that is different is Temin. That Temin is a Venus in Gemini. That I didn't mention the last time. Ah, okay, okay. It's in a shine at me. Yeah, yeah, a girl group would be cool. Yeah, yeah. Vino is a Venus in Scorpio. Yeah, so I have the 4 of them here. But you know what I was thinking that it would also be dynamic and it would add something different. is that I did bring my other astrological deck that I did show to you the other time. Um, and I was thinking about, pulling a card from this and just like reading the message. Like, for example, it's not so much like this one that is all about like literal placements. In here, it's more about, I don't know, aspects, houses, signs of elements, and they all have a keyword. So I think that after we finish like talking about their characteristics, I could pull a card from this oracle to somehow see what the cards have to say about what this person needs in order to like exalt or to push their Venus in a higher frequency, like in a more positive light, and actually for this placement to be lucky in love, what they need to integrate with this energy in order to grow in connections or as lovers. So I was thinking about doing this. Venus in Leo, Key is having his Venus return. Wow. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just that it's in Spanish. I got it in Spanish. I didn't get the English version, so I hope it doesn't have a complicated word, so I can translate this, like in the correct way. But I think that it's going to be fun. I wanted to use it as well, but I wanted to just use it for this, and because we have a very strong bond, the community and I, with this oracle, so I don't want to stop using this and using this, because they are very different in energy. I can already feel it. It's like, the keyword is fun and everything, but it's very generic. Yeah. I'm not drinking alcohol, guys. Actually, this is, I don't know how you pronounce it over there, but it's 7-Up. I believe you do have 7-Up over there. And I know that you call it soda. So, but for me, we call it 7-Up. Okay, let's begin with Onu. Lemon lime soda. Okay. Okay. Hey, Mariana. Yeah, I know. It's just that, I know that you guys don't say the brand. You call it differently, but we call it the brand. We say 7-Up. Hey, Natasha. So yeah, let's begin with Onu. Since we are going to do this very general, because we know that he's in hiatus, so we are just going to talk about astrology and him. And he is a Venus in Aquarius. So again, like the last time, the key word for a Venus in Aquarius is detachment. And we did mention this, that a Venus in Aquarius, they can be far away from you, they can be distant from you, like physically, and their feelings don't change, because the detachment, it doesn't mean that they don't care or that they are cold. It's just that it means that they are able to separate, this attraction or this feeling of like, oh, I like that person, and not let this become her or his whole life and personality trait. A Venus in Aquarius is very independent, just like any Aquarius placement we know. So in love, the card of detachment, it doesn't mean that they don't care, because people, I believe, I'm not an expert in English, but I notice people use the word detached a lot to describe certain traits, or even to describe relationships or people's personality trait, just to say that, oh, that person is so detached because it seems like they ignore me, they are not as invested as me. And I think that when we're talking about, about astrology, I definitely don't feel Aquarius like someone that doesn't care. It's just that they have other priorities. Like, I mean, a Venus in Aquarius is not their priority in love is not chasing someone. It's not stalking someone. It's not being obsessively thinking about that person, or just being together 24/7. Oh, because I love you, I have to be communicated to you, and I have to talk to you, and I have to see you, because otherwise I feel like we are not a couple, and I'm going to lose you. You're not going to lose in Aquarius. You can lose in Aquarius for a lot of other reasons. One of them could be that you are very dumb, and they just cannot stand that you are dumb, or that you are not that bright. Those things could be, a reason for them to be like, okay, bye. But they also need their space to be themselves and to enjoy their space, and they just view relationships very differently, But this doesn't mean that they are not loyal. In the case of Onu, we have to think that he's a Sagittarius. And also his moon is in Cancer. So there's something about Onu being very friendly, also like very positive in his connections, and probably that moon in Cancer can actually make him a bit more reserved when it comes to, okay, I'm going to talk and establish a connection with this person. Because yes, he's a Sagittarius, yes, he is outgoing, he's friendly, he's nice, but the moon in Cancer is more like an introvert person, it's someone that it takes a while for them to be like, if, they have to get to know you really well, and they don't just let people enter their circle of friends or close acquaintances. They are very sensitive. They value their home, their personal space, so even though a Sagittarius can be, someone that enjoys to go out and be social, a moon in Cancer would restrict themselves to this, and that would be, he's a Sagittarius. And he would be like, okay, like this was fun, like I had fun going out and doing this, guys, but I want to go home. Like I really want to go home. So I think that when you mix those elements in Onu's chart, maybe, the best way for him to activate that Venus in Aquarius of his is to meet people like his acquaintances or family friends. We know that we often talk that Venus in Aquarius actually, they tend to want their partners to be friends first. To form a friendship is very important for them. It's not that they go out seeking like, oh, let's be friends and then be lovers. No, actually they don't. But the proximity and how comfortable you make me feel because you are my friend is also what allows them to transform the bond into something deeper. So I think that I could see like, someone like Onu probably, being comfortable with being very nice and open to meet people if these people are their friends' friends, or their acquaintances' friends, or their family friends. That it all sums up that it has to be within his tribe, within his people, inside their people and their circle. Because, and often I think that probably it also has to do that with fame. We have to think that he's a public figure, so maybe for him he could also, because he's so sensitive, he could also have trust issues about like, okay, like these people are really nice. You being a Sagittarius, you having a Venus in Aquarius, you've been very like spontaneous and be like, okay, let's be friends, or let's hang out, or let's just be out there having fun. But that every little step that an idol does is questioned sometimes. So maybe if you are too friendly with someone, or if it looks like you are having too much fun with someone of the opposite sex, it can create drama. So definitely I would see this Venus in Aquarius and him being a moon in Cancer be very restrictive about like, okay, like I really like meeting people, like I consider myself a romantic, but first let's be friends. Like first let's talk, let's communicate. And probably because a Venus in Aquarius wouldn't mind to have a long distance relationship. I think that he could also meet people online, for example, or just, establish a bond with someone of different countries, or just like, having a long-term relationship with someone that is away. Because, in her placement, it's all about the mind. So he would be very interested in communication and in also in using unusual ways also to connect. Maybe a Venus in Aquarius, often I hear their love stories, how they meet people, and usually they meet people in the very like, I wouldn't say like weird places, but it's more about distance, it's more like, oh yeah, I'm dating someone, like I have a relationship, but actually that person is not with me, they live overseas, or they are far away, or, we don't see each other in person that much, but we have a connection. And for me, this is a relationship, and I love this person, even though I'm not with that person physically. So a Venus in Aquarius could potentially have a romance that is very different, the style of romance, or how people view romance, like, oh, how can you be in love with someone that you never met or you never seen in person? A Venus in Aquarius would fall in love with someone that they haven't seen in person, and yeah. I prefer friends because I can learn what I like. I get sick of that fast. Makes sense. He said he couldn't imagine debuting with Onu because he was so soft and the business was so tough. Yeah, he definitely is very soft. Definitely. And also, like, being a Sagittarius and being a Cancer moon, or having a water moon is very, it makes you feel like very weird, because usually fire signs don't get very comfortable with emotions. They are more about let's go, let's do things, let's get things done. They are very outgoing. They just go and experience life. And when you have a moon in water, when you have a moon in Cancer, moon in Pisces, a moon in Scorpio, suddenly everything starts to feel very intense and very sensitive. And especially for moon in Cancer people, they tend to have mood swings. They have moon swings so much. Like, they are very sensitive. They get their heart broken very easily, not just by partners, but also just family, friends. You actually could hurt them just like, by saying something with a strong voice, and they would get offended, but not offended in the, like, oh, I'm offended. No, it's more about like, you really hurt my feelings. And like, they are very sensitive. So him wanting to be and express his Sagittarius self, and also being so sensitive, I guess that he must have like a sort of identity crisis, because it's like about the potential of Jupiter, the potential of Sagittarius, that is all about expansion. It's all about let's go out there, let's live life, like let's test the boundaries, the horizons, like let's go as far as we can go. And then you have the moon in Cancer that is like, no, let's better stay home tonight. Let's not go out. I don't want to go to a place I don't know people. I feel awkward, like I don't want to participate in this. I feel very uncomfortable. So, in a Venus in Aquarius also, I noticed that Venus in Aquarius, they tend to be very awkward also in relationships, more than in Aquarius Sun. I think that the Venus in Aquarius, they tend to be very awkward, just like Venus in Virgo. For them to actually establish a stable relationship, it depends, like I always say, it depends a lot on the Mars sign, the sign that is next to Venus, and how this affects their actions. Because probably what they find attractive or what they think that is love or a potential partner, or like, oh, I fell in love with that person, is not the usual style that people would be like, oh, this is good for you. Probably they tend to fall in love of people that are very different, and that are very different to them. They feel that attraction, that things are weird. Their love stories are weird. The way they connect with love is also weird. The way they interact with the idea of love is also I think that the word is not weird, because actually it's not weird, but for an outsider it's maybe like, are you sure that you like that person? Are you sure? It's like, it seems like they speak a different language. And often when they talk about someone that could be their partner, they don't call that person their partner. They always talk about, you notice that they are their significant other because they mention that person a lot. So at first you're like, oh, that must be a friend. And then eventually, if you are very close to them, you start like, maybe they're more than friends. But they don't say it, they don't make it official. They're not like the Venus in Leo that is like, yeah, I have a boyfriend, I have a girlfriend, I'm engaged, and everyone needs to find out that I have a partner. With Venus in Aquarius is more like you have to somehow guess the hints that, oh, they are actually dating, it's like, or maybe they are living together already, and you're like, is that your roommate? And sometimes you don't even want to ask. You're like, okay, I guess that person is important because you are mentioning that. So they're also very, very, it's very interesting the way they talk about their partners. It's like, it sounds like a friend, instead of someone romantic, but well, for them it means a lot, for them it's special, definitely. But maybe for an outsider that you are like, okay, I would want to know, really, can you say the words? Is this the person that you're dating? Is this your boyfriend? Is this your girlfriend? Is this your wife, your husband? I don't know. It's very confusing. Yeah, I guess when your moon and Venus are so different, it can be hard to understand your needs in a relationship. Yeah, because, for example, knowing that he's a moon in Cancer, we know that he loves to take care of people, and that possibly he wants the same, he wants also to be taken care of, he wants to be cherished, he wants to be, he also wants someone that can be very expressive and emotional. because he gets emotional easily. But with that Venus in Aquarius, I'm like, possibly the relationship or what he's attracted to, or the kind of person that he's attracted to, probably is in Aquarius, or could have Aquarius traits. So it would be like a very weird dynamic. But I think that they know when it's their person, they know. But yeah, it all depends on the Mars, how the Mars is going to act to what they are feeling the attraction towards, They are very moody, Cancer moon, and quite nurturing. Yeah, they're very moody. Yeah, very much. Yeah, very much, and it's like you don't realize it, but sometimes you're like, oh, they're mad at me. I offended them, and I had no idea what I said, but they do remember. But they don't confront you, they don't tell you to your face. This is my very good friend. Yeah, it's like this, this is so and so, and you are like, But it probably is about that that need to not put labels on people. It's like they don't feel the need. They choose. For them, relationships it's a whole experience that doesn't need any kind of like structure. Low-key Aquarius tend to be a little narcissistic. Yes, they are. Yeah, they are. I noticed that. Yeah, I noticed that. Actually, sometimes when I don't know I don't know that they're in Aquarius, but I do get a strong vibe of Leo. I do get like a strong vibe of Leo, because it's like, that Leo is also very open about, their value, themselves, here I come. And sometimes there are some Aquarius, I will say Aquarius sun, but probably I notice people that are Aquarius rising or Aquarius moon. They are, even Aquarius Venuses sometimes, not so often, but if they have a lot of Aquarius placements, they tend to want to like emphasize that they are different. It's like, I am different. I am special. It's like if you were to talk about astrology with them, they probably would be like, I don't believe in astrology. And actually, it's like astrology is the best astrologers are Aquarius sun. The best astrologers are Aquarius sun. And actually, for you to be a good astrologer, you're supposed to have like a good aspect to Uranus. So it's like, sometimes I'm like, sometimes there's some placements that do polarize a lot. Like, that's why I'm like, wow, how sometimes when we think about the opposite sign, sometimes Leos get this reputation of like, oh, they love to show off, and they have this huge ego. But Aquarius has a huge ego as well. Yeah, they do. Especially because sometimes they try so hard to let you know that they are different. They are not like the others, and it's like, okay, I get it. You're different, okay? like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I see it, like, they don't want to be compared. They hate it. So if you're like, oh, you're an Aquarius, they are like, I don't believe in astrology. But they're fun. It's the first impression. It's not that they are always like this. But probably if they meet you for the first time, and these are the people that would challenge you to be like, oh, you're into astrology, guess what my sign is? And they are definitely an Aquarius. My mom is an Aquarius moon, and it's always people are so this and that. But me, I don't think like that. Yeah. Yeah, the men do think that they are different, yes. And they try so hard, with their style, with their. They try so hard. They try so hard to differentiate yourself, And in that, it's like, I'm like, people sometimes they. Leo always gets the backlash, but I think that Aquariuses are also, you know. I'm Aquarius rising and not for me. And I'm like, Mom, a lot of people think like that. It annoys her like that. They get annoyed because it's like, don't put me, like, don't. I'm like that, to be honest, but we are all very similar. Yeah, it's just that Aquarius is different. Aquarius has to differentiate themselves, but you have the insecure Aquarius and you have the Aquarius that had evolved, that somehow it's, that they are just kind, they just, but yeah, it's all, it's all about, life in general. When you experience life, you understand a lot of things. That's why I'm also like a huge believer that a sun sign or a position or a moon sign or a Venus is not going to dictate your whole life and how you're going to experience life forever. No. Actually, there's people that do have certain placements that when you talk to them and you are like, oh, you have this and maybe your traits are like this, and they're like, no, not at all. I'm totally opposite. So that's why you read the whole chart. But yeah. My true note is 29 Aquarius. Yes, Aquarius Venuses like to dress different too. Yeah, like B. Yeah, sometimes with B, I'm like, I think I get this vibe that, sometimes he's like, he wants to be so different. Like, he definitely wants to differentiate himself. But, I'm like, there's no need, because actually you are a Capricorn and your style is actually, it's very beautiful. Like, like you don't need to create, like weird figures and just start painting. You'll know I am from Monster X. That's him for real. I love I am. But yeah, that combination of that moon in Aries, definitely he's nobody's friend but himself. I'm the process, but I'm kind of who understands, and I will get it with time. Yeah, but also because you are a moon in Libra. So, the moon in Libra is a very nice moon. It's a moon that actually like helps you to relax a bit and just like let it be. Let it be. Sometimes don't get too intense. Like, just let it be. To be fair, Aquarius people often have the ability to see things from different perspectives. They are very interesting. Aqua, such as Scorpio women are the most interesting for me. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I learn a lot from them, because usually people tell you that you should always like learn from the sign that comes after you. Because they already went through that energy, so they are like, they are one stage ahead of you. So I do believe that I do learn a lot from people that have Aquarius placements or are Aquariuses, because they help me think outside the box. In moments where I get so overwhelmed and fixated on situations and perceptions especially, They sometimes just teach me to be free, to free my mind, to free my mind. Thank God I am an earth sign, but I do love to use my mind. That's why I can connect with air signs, because even though I don't have much air placements, but I do have very strong placements in Gemini house. So, and I also have Jupiter. So I am a sucker for knowledge. I want to learn new things. I want to hear people's stories. I want to learn from people. I want to listen to people, and they transform me. They set me free. They help me see things differently. And that's very beautiful. That's very beautiful. To have the ability to not get stuck into, oh, I am like this and I will never change. Or I am like this and this will always be my presentation card. No, no. Yeah, definitely Pisces has a lot of wisdom. I like that orange perm hair he had. Yeah, Pisces is all the signs in one. Exactly. Yes. Maybe I need some Capricorn friends then. Yeah, because actually, yeah, but sometimes, Capricorn, Sagittarius, they do have sometimes Capricorn placements. So you can, if you have, you must have some Capricorn placement in there, or a strong Saturn. Okay, let's move on, because we are ranting and I want to keep reading for these people. Okay, I'm going to pull a card from the Oracle to see how Onu could integrate better this Venus. I'm sorry, guys, that way. Then when I will want to put the timestamps, it's going to be very confusing for people, because they're going to be like, but you were talking about Onu. Why are you getting out of subject? Okay. For Onu. He got Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena. I think that this is an asteroid. This is an asteroid, I believe. Pallas Athena. And the keyword is think. The keyword is think. Yeah, yeah, it's very wise. Actually, it does make sense. In the Venus in Aquarius, we have the giant head in here, and we have, all these parts of the brain. So the person definitely is inside their mind, for them, I believe that they also need to be in a good relationship for them to be able to think straight, so, when he got this placement of think, I think that this placement is like showing him that he always has to connect with his intellect when he's choosing a partner. Not so much about connecting with his sensitive side or his moon in Cancer, because moon in Cancer is in exaltation, so probably it's a huge protagonist in his life, because the moon, the Cancer is ruled by the moon, so it's in its domicile. It's the best moon position, so probably it's very hard for him to not get attached to people that he likes, or someone that he finds attractive. He starts to fantasize, he starts to think like, oh, I'm going to marry this person, or I see myself like getting married, or I see myself having children, like having this very emotional component, and his Venus in Aquarius is like, no, don't get that emotional. Stop a bit and think. Think. Focus. Be rational. Pay attention. Listen. Recollect information about the person. Talk to that person. Communicate with this person. Even if it's a long distance relationship, do it. But practice the mind. This is why this Venus in Aquarius is important for him, because it allows him to detach from his emotional world, that sometimes that emotional world of him tends to create fantasies that this person is the best for me. This is my soulmate. I think we have a connection. I think this is the one. And Venus in Aquarius is like, stop. Think. Calm down. Detach yourself. Like, take it slow. Use your mind. Do not, get all emotional with someone that, just see the person for who they really are. Observe the bond. This is about using your mind instead of your heart. Yes, good point. He's so strong. Probably over his Aqua Venus. Every time there's story around you, he's talking, connecting to women for 8 months before he starts. Yes, it's about concentrate. Pay attention. You have the information. Just collect it. Don't forget about it. Don't get distracted. Don't mix the facts. You have the information. You have the intelligence. Like, connect with your mind, not so much with your emotions. Because they can, cloud his judgment. So, yeah. Very interesting. Okay. Let's move on to Ki. Ki has Venus in Leo. That is the opposite. Venus in Leo, and yes, we seen it the other day. The keyword is affair. The keyword is affair. So yeah, I don't remember exactly Ki's placement. Yeah, very diva, and also like he loves also flashy people that are also very, like, I could see him dating a moon in Leo, for example, someone that wears red, or has red lips, or something very, very flashy, very, if you're a fan, because I sometimes read different sites for Kis, and sometimes they say that he's a Virgo sun. Some people say that he's a Libra. What is it? Because he's so confusing. Because honestly, yes, he is like in the middle. He's like at the end of Virgo and the beginning of Libra. So he has both. Definitely he has both. Virgo Sun, Pisces Moon or Rising. Okay. Virgo Sun. Yeah. Pisces Moon. Yeah, like definitely I see him like a Virgo, because he's so sassy like a Virgo. Even though, yes, he has Mars in Libra, so in some of his movements and in some of his ways of being very critical, but then being very polite and very funny and just trying to make the situation just being funny and just let's move on. He has a very interesting mix of both. But yeah, I see that he's a Sun. And his moon is in Pisces. My nephew's born the same day, is so confusing. Some sites say Virgo, some Libra. Yeah. Yeah, it's the 29 of Virgo. Yeah, so he's there. He's at the final degrees, yes. Yes. But yeah, Venus in Leo, I think that I think that he lives his Venus in Leo because he loves to show himself. He loves to entertain people. He is an entertainer, and I think that you can see that I can definitely see Ki when he's interested in someone, he would make a fool of himself to entertain that person. He would be like, oh, let me, I don't know, get drunk and I'm going to dance on the table for you. Like I'm going to do sexy dances, or I'm going to do all the choreography of all the girl groups that I know. Because it's that energy of a Venus in Leo. I often see that the Venus in Leo, more than being like, oh, what are you attracted to? I think that the person, when they are attracted to someone, they become that Venus in Leo. They start to take care a lot of their image. I see them like looking at themselves at the mirror as much chances as they can get, very often. They always are changing clothes. They always are trying new style. They don't want to be ignored, and they want to shine. Especially if in the crowd or in the room there's the person that they like. They definitely want to make a strong impression on that person. They probably, if we are thinking about the Virgo sun, we know that Virgo placements tend to be very awkward, even though they are very smart. But if he has this Venus in Leo, definitely I can see him getting courageous all of a sudden. I can see him connecting with that fire, with that, it's like, get out of my way. There's the person that I like. And I'm going to make huge entrance. And all the eyes are going to be on me because I want to impress that person. I want that person to like me. I want that person to choose me. So even though maybe there's no one competing with him, it's not like people is getting in the way or in the middle, but for him, it's like a whole dramatic K-drama scene. For him, it's all about a great first impression. It's like, I'm not going to get ignored, definitely. He did 2 hours choreography for Mino when drunk. Mino filmed him, his favorite husband. Yeah, definitely. I can see it. Oh, and I think that you are going to notice when he likes someone because he's going to get all, like, we know that he's very jumpy, he's very hyperactive, and he talks a lot. But probably when he's around someone that he likes, he gets very awkward all of a sudden. He gets very giggly and he gets very, like, I wouldn't say shy, but you're going to notice that he gets a very like he starts blushing, and possibly, he could get a bit dominant also because Leo is a dominant sun, so it's a dominant energy. So he could amaze some people and be the one that takes the lead. For example, I don't know, taking this person to like, come on, dance with me, like do this choreography with me, like I choose you among all these people, like let's go, like very passionate, very straightforward, very fun, very enthusiastic. So if you want to know if he's into someone, you have to see how, yeah, his diva self starts to rise. You know, it's like it's getting out of his body. You know, even though he is not a shy person, but I think that it's how this energy takes over his whole. You know, sometimes he has this that, yes, he's very funny, but sometimes his energy, especially when he speaks, his energy is all over the place. It's like because he's so smart, because he's so clever, because he's very ironic, and he has a great sense of humor as well. So he's this whole character. But when he wants to attract someone, he has to not look that messy and nervous. He has to look like a charming prince, you know, like a femme fatale, you know, like someone like I'm passionate, like I'm taking a risk here. I want to be brave with you. And I want you to choose me. And I want you to only focus your eyes on me. Because I am your person, because I am special, because I am a star. These people usually they want to be a star, even if he wasn't famous. Venus in Leo, they often like dream of being famous. You know, maybe they have this delulu fantasies that they're dating someone famous, or that they are the famous person that is dating someone. You know, and they often act as if they have like stalkers, paparazzi following them, or just people, you know, middling in into their business, you know, and they just love it. They just love the drama. They just love. And when people talk about their relationships, whether this is good or bad, they just love it. They are like, yeah, talk about us because we matter. You know, it's so cute. My dad, he's so confident, like I don't need to cut your attention because I shine already, of course. His perfectionism is very Virgo though, yeah. His Leo Venus is very visible in his art. Venus is always visible for artists. Yes, for a year or two till he gets bored and has an affair. Yeah, I mean, the card says affair, so for a Venus in Leo, it's all about that first encounters. It's about that strong feeling of like when you feel that attraction for the first time. So they want to live in that state, you know, like the honeymoon phase. They want to live in that. So probably, yeah, if the fireworks run out, if the passion runs out, if if the routinary life gets in the way, they could potentially like have like some affairs to just, I wouldn't say like they would leave the person, but they do need that fireworks in their stomach, you know, the nervousness of like here it goes, the person that I like, you know, and probably for them, I think that what hurts them the most is when they are in a relationship where they don't feel like they are valued. You know, it's like, okay, if you're not paying attention to me and you don't value me and you don't tell me that I'm special, and if you don't tell me that I look good, or that, you know, because they really put an effort in their appearance, or probably they take care of themselves, or they just want to have fun, you know. So if the relationship gets a bit routinary, they could potentially like go look for that attention elsewhere. But in the case of Key, like I would doubt it, because actually he is a star. So I think that he has that part of admiration and love and just that he has that affair with the fans, you know. So that's why I think that sometimes when we think about the Leo placements, and we are like, yeah, because you are meant to shine, because you are meant to be a star. Sometimes for Leo placements, you know, to be famous is good for their health, you know. is good for their development, because they get the attention from another source. And then they can go home and just have a drama-free, normal, stable relationship. And the drama and the whole, exaggeration and just like the paparazzis and everything is outside. It's outside with the fans. As a Leo, Venus, Virgo Sun, I have zero interest in fame and I don't like to have people talk about me. But I need to be a star for my partner, though. Unnecessary drama for what? I'm wondering why I always end up with Aquarius Venus as Leo Venus. I'm going crying. When they feel they're not being listened, I notice it hurts them. Yeah, it hurts them. Yeah, definitely, Mariana. It hurts them. It hurts them deeply. Deeply. Maybe for us that we, I don't know, the people that we have like this more like stable placements, for us it's like a bit difficult to understand, like why do you care so much? Why are you so like, why do you pay attention to that? And why can you like see the other thing that is available in the relationship? And they just can't. If they feel unseen, if they feel ignored, it hurts them and it makes them cry. I've seen people cry, like really, like, and you're like, oh my God, what happened? And they're like, oh, because they don't want me anymore, or they don't take me out on dates anymore, and I want to get out, and I want to have fun, so yeah. But it's just that I think that this is the thing that I often see also with Moon in Leo people, is that sometimes because they are so magnificent and they definitely like are people that they have this great energy, they often attract people in their circle of friends or partners that are just followers, and that yes, at first it's very like flattering that you have people that follow you around everywhere and that they just say yes to whatever you do. But then eventually there's this, they start to notice like why are they with me? Like, do they really like me? Or they're just following me because they don't have no one to admire? And what happens when I don't entertain them anymore? Or when I'm not a star anymore? Will they still like me? Sometimes when you attract people that are followers or their mind is to be a follower, they have no identity. So they do not have that ability to take the lead and be like, let's go out. Like I invite you, let's go out, let's do something different, let me take the lead tonight. I'm going to do things differently in our dynamic. But if you're always like the shining queen in your group of friends, or if you're always like the queen or the princess or the prince, and you're always so adored, it's like everything is on you. If you don't move, the others don't move. So sometimes they get very disappointed in this when they realize that their friends and their partners are just followers. That they don't resist them, they don't put boundaries, they don't complain. So things get very routinary, things get very boring and very predictable, and they just hate it. Okay, I'm going to pull a card for Key to see how he would integrate this Venus in Leo. See? He got the card of Saturn. Saturn, a structure. He needs a structure in his life. He needs, I think that for him to, like I mentioned, he needs someone that is able to, yeah, we can have fun and we can be friends and we can be, just having fun together and being all spontaneous. But I also have to put structures into your life. And that doesn't mean that I'm boring or that I'm routinary. It's just that you need structures. Because you cannot always be having a crazy wild love life or encounters or dates or, just being entertained all the time. Like romance is not a soap opera. Sometimes Venus in Leo, they want the drama in the relationship. And they create the silliest arguments and fights and arguments and just awful things. They even create gossip between people to create drama. I've seen it. It's like sometimes they're like, okay, I need to bring like fire into the relationship. So what do? I will start a gossip. I will put them to the test to see if they love me. So here with the structure with Saturn, probably what is telling him is that maybe he should hang out more with people that have Capricorn placements. Maybe a Capricorn Venus, it would be good for him because they would pull him out of that very fantastic fantasy that he has, that is all about, strong emotions and just like people being over dramatic and just shouting and just being passionate and he needs a stable partner. Or maybe he needs someone that takes him out of that like, illusion that he has that love is like having an affair. It has to be fun all the time, and it has to be funny, and it has to be, it has to make you feel like excited. And no, sometimes relationships take a lot of work and structure and boundaries and rules. So this is why he gets the card of Saturn. He needs a structure in his love life. Or maybe he needs a partner that can provide that for him, and that actually he could understand that if the person that loves him puts structures or boundaries to his personality, it's not because that person doesn't care about him. It's more because they care and they don't want him to destroy situations or just mess with the bond just because he wants something exciting to happen in his life, He needs Capricorn discipline, yeah. Yes. Fire signs look for drama sometimes unconsciously, yeah. Mino is a Cap moon, I think. No wonder they are always stuck together. Yeah, Mino is a Capricorn moon. Yeah. Yeah, I think that definitely, I believe Mino is a Capricorn moon. And I think that, yeah, it would make sense because Mino, it's like he's not impressed by all the wars and all the blah 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 that Ki does. Ki has that because he's so smart, he's so witty, he's funny, he's cute. He knows he can get away with things easily. And he loves attention, and Mino probably is like with his moon in Capricorn is maybe this father figure. It's like the one that sets the rule. He's the one that is like, okay, stop it. Here, till here. You will not go further. Till here. Stop it. Maybe he needs that, and maybe also he has that chaotic self because he wants to be restricted, or he wants limits. Just like children. Sometimes children, are they are very, chaotic because they want their parents to set boundaries, to tell them no. And maybe he needs someone, a loved one, someone that is able to tell him no. You cannot do this. You have to stop. And also if he's the moon in Pisces, oh yeah, there's a lot of mutuality in there. And talking about Mino, since we were mentioning Mino has Venus in Scorpio. So like we were mentioning the other time when I pulled this card, this placement, the key word is secrets. So for Mino I think that he is a guy that he has a lot of charisma, and probably he gets on detective mode when he's attracted to someone. And also, since we were mentioning that his moon is in Capricorn and his Venus is in Scorpio, there's a sense of that his energy gets very intense all of a sudden. His energy gets very intense. And I think that you definitely can notice when someone has a strong Capricorn placements because their eyes are very dark. They almost look like black, and they have these very deep eyes. In Mino, I have noticed that. Also in Chaniel, I have noticed that even though they are Sagittarius, and Sagittarius, it's they have very a youthful appearance, and they are very, very like. They look very young. When you look at them in the eyes, especially when they are concentrated on something, they get very serious. Their eyes get very dark. And also they get very competitive. But they have those moments when they get very serious. Very serious. They get like that strong Saturnian energy. So if we think about his moon in Capricorn and him being a Venus in Scorpio, there's a sense of seriousness and a lot of intense emotions, when it comes to a partner. So probably for him in relationships, it's all about control. And it's all about him having control over the relationship, who he likes. He probably does a background check. If he likes someone, he studies that person. He wants to know all their secrets. Even if he is just this very friendly Sagittarius that you are like, oh, he's so friendly, he came and talked to me and we had so much fun, because he was smiling the whole time, but he's not playing. If he's interested in you, his moon in Capricorn, that is very bossy, is very dominant, is very territorial. And also a Venus in Scorpio that is very possessive, that is also about possession, that is also about like, okay, if you are with me, you are mine. You are part of my property. But I don't think that it's in the way of like, okay, you are like objectifying me, I'm an object to you. No, I think that because he is a moon in Capricorn, probably he's very responsible when it comes to women, and also very traditional. He could also be a bit, too stuck up in his ways. Probably he has traditional values that were, that he learned from other males in his family. About like, okay, you have to be the man in the relationship, and you have to be in control, and you have to take care of the woman, and she has to, stay home, and she has to be, very. I don't think that it's about being submissive, but probably he finds, he probably wants a partner that doesn't challenge him in the sense of like, I'm very independent, and I'm very loud, and I assert my dominance. Like, I am a woman that I have a lot of independence, and I say what I want, and I say, when I want things, and sometimes I am the one in control in the relationship. Probably he would be like a bit like not so attracted to that. He would probably want to be secretly. I don't think that he would tell you right away, like, oh, I want to have dominion over you. I want to be the one in control, and I want to dominate you. I think that a Venus in Scorpio often starts relationship like very casually, and usually because it's a placement that is in Scorpio, they don't look for partners, the partners look for them, because they have that magnetism, they have that mysteriousness that it just gets people very attracted to them, and even obsessed with them. Even when they don't want to, they always have someone that is interested, or I don't know, even a friend that could potentially be in love with them and just like being obsessed with them forever, and with secrets, the word secrets, probably they also have a secret admirer, or they are the secret admirer of someone, and they just don't say it. And possibly there's a lot of secrets at the beginning of the relationship. But a Venus in Scorpio, I don't think that they go around like looking for like, oh, this is a tumultuous relationship, and I want to get involved in this. No, actually they start very normally, and then eventually when they get very comfortable with their partner, they start asserting their dominance, and they because they care so much and they get emotionally involved, they start to pay attention to everything that their partner do. If they go out, who are you going out with? Where are you going? Okay, if you come back, let me know. Like somehow, like I want to be a part of your life, so you have to keep me check. There's no secrets between you and me. There's no secrets. You cannot have secrets with a Venus in Scorpio, because they will leave you. All Venus readings are about a lot of secrets. I'm always surprised that Venus has Scorpio Venus. I would have guessed Cap Venus, but I'm curious about the Scorpio in him now. Yeah, but maybe it's because, Capricorn placements and Scorpio placements are very similar. Are very similar in the sense that they are very quiet, but they have that aura of assertiveness, and they have that assertiveness that they don't need to talk to you or convince you of something. They have that vibe of power. They don't need to command something in a relationship. They have the power. And also, they don't just happen to fall in love with someone. They had done some research on you. They had done some detective work on you, background check before. They don't just like get obsessed with someone just because, oh, he's pretty, like, oh yeah, I'm in love, like I'm going to start. No, it's something that is a slow burn, and it takes a while also for them to decide if you are up for the challenge, because they do have, like, they are very intense, and they do have very strong determination and beliefs that relationship should be about, about trust. I think that the worst thing that you can do to a Scorpio placement is to lie to them or to hide things from them. So I think that maybe they get too obsessed with their partner's past. They want, the more they know about their partner, the more they want to keep knowing and digging and digging and digging and digging until it can get toxic. Yeah. But I guess that because he's a Sagittarius, and also because he also has a Capricorn moon, probably, he will act cool about it. It's not that he will get like extremely emotional, but he has that dominant side of him. That's why I'm like, that guy is very competitive. So they wouldn't want to date with someone that, I don't know, has a lot of partners or has a lot of options or has like friends of the opposite sex. They do the whole, they for you to be that one, they do a lot of work. They don't just fall in love with people just because, oh, she's attractive, and that's it. It sounds so romantic, control issues. Yeah, actually, I think that it's a bit, for the person, it's a bit like, it's not fun. Like maybe for the partner is like, yeah, okay, whatever, like, if you have insecurities, we'll deal with them. But for a Venus in a Scorpio, maybe, if they feel jealous or if they feel like they don't trust someone, it's not about that it hurts and I'm going to cry, but more like, I'm not forgiving. I'm not forgiving. And eventually I'm going to find out the truth. It's like they have a lot of patience. If there's something that I learned with all my Scorpio placements, is that we wait. We wait. We wait. And if we have a suspicion of something, it usually is true. And we just wait until we have all the proofs, or until that person reveals it themselves. We are like waiting for them to fall into their own trap. So, yeah, it's about control. Yes, it's about control. I don't know. Maybe for people they think that it's romantic, but yeah. We always find out. Yeah, in my experience, they have this tendency to investigate in people's business and to be suspicious very easily. Lots of testing, yeah, lots of testing. They love deeply, and they tend to be attracted to a hot mess. Yeah, that also. They are the typical people that they would trauma bound. Like, if you tell me your traumas and I tell you my traumas, we are best friends already. They tend to get attracted to the other person's dark past, challenging moments, I don't know, moments of a lot of, chaos in their lives, a lot of deaths, or self-destructive tendencies, all the extremes, and that you tell them that story and that you are like, I overcome that. And for them, it's like, you are a hero. Like, that's when the Venus gets activated. When they see someone overcome their fears. They are like, wow, that person is hot. Like, I want to get to know that person. So it's not about a physical trait, It's not about even how the person makes them feel. It's more about like, how traumatic is your life story? Something like that, They cannot go for the plain people. No, they want They want someone that is very resilient, and definitely they need someone resilient, because dating a Scorpio placement, a Scorpio Venus is intense, so you have to be resilient in order to survive them, you know. Yeah, ideally. Yeah, but definitely what I what I can see of Mino is that definitely he's very attractive, and he could potentially also like have a sort of a savior complex, you know, because he's so much in charge, and he's so mature, and he's such a leader of his own persona and life. I definitely can see him like probably getting married or having a partner that needs to be rescued. You know, probably someone that has Pisces Venus or a Pisces Sun, a Libra placement. You know, someone that is a bit naive and someone that is a bit clueless or needs protection. I can definitely see him like fall for that sort of like damsel in distress kind of thing, because he wants to feel like heroic. You know, he wants to feel like the hero. You know, like here I come. I'm going to save you. You know, and I'm going to take care of you, and I'm going to provide for you, and I'm going to protect you. You know, so he has that very strong need to protect. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to pull a card to see how he should integrate this Venus better. He got the card of Taurus. Cultivate. Actually, it does make sense because, you know, Taurus is the opposite of a Scorpio. So usually when you have Scorpio placements, there's a lot of things to learn from the opposite sign. That is Taurus. That is about slowing down. That is about, yes, learning that for you to cultivate a good and stable relationship, you have to be patient. You have to learn that every step of the relationship is like a season. That, you know, you have to cultivate patience. And that sometimes the relationship, for it to be real or for it to be authentic, it doesn't have to be chaotic. There doesn't have to be a dark secret in your loved one, or something that they're hiding from you, or, you know, a dark past, or a dark fear, you know, like, oh, okay, because there's, you know, like, I think that this Taurus is all about also cultivating faith in your special someone. Like, work on the relationship. If you know that you're putting the effort, which I believe that he must, as an Earth moon, as a Capricorn moon, he has a lot of possibilities to be very practical. So probably, you know, to integrate this Taurus, it would be very easy for him, you know, to let go a bit of like the secrecy and also the conspiracies, you know, and be like, oh, they didn't say this to me, or the other day they acted differently towards me, so I wonder if they're hiding something, you know, because it seems like the more they are attracted to someone or the more they love you, the more like they want to be one with you. So it means that there's you and I, we are one, you know, we mesh, there's no identity here. So I think that sometimes there's also this dark fear of like, what if they leave me? What if they are hiding something from me? I fear that they will abandon me. So the Taurus is like, if you cultivate and if you put the efforts, the physical efforts in the relationship, and if you are consistent, if you are true, if you are loyal, the relationship will blossom. The relationship will have its, like, its fruits, but you have to be patient and you have to put a lot of effort, but just stay still. Sometimes in a relationship, it's not about, oh, I have the result right now, or I think I figured that person out, and this person is like this. Sometimes being a partner is just about chilling, being together, being routinary, being still, like taking a nap together, it doesn't have to be that intense. It doesn't have to be that passionate always, or that compulsive need of like, I need that person. Like, I cannot breathe if I don't know about my person. I need that person to connect with me because I fear that if they go out without me, something is going to happen. It's like, calm down. It's like, calm down, be present, be patient. Don't go to the dark side. Stay in the now. Cultivate patience and cultivate trust. If the person, like I always say this as an earth sign, me, I'm not that affectionate, but as an earth sign, if I make time to be with you or to accompany you somewhere or to just be sitting next to you or just having a conversation with you, it's because I care. Because for me, it's all about presence. And the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, probably not Virgo, but probably Taurus, it's also about stability. It's like, if I'm here wanting to cultivate something with you, it's because I care. Simple as that. It's simple. Relationships doesn't have to be the extreme. Sometimes it can be simple. Simple as you choose me and I choose you every day, and that's it. Taurus is literally the definition of it's not that. I say to be healthy relationship is just overcome Pluto influence and understand that love doesn't come to be one from fear, rather with love from acceptance. Yes, exactly. Yeah, like see what you have now and enjoy it. Yes, don't go that far. Stay still. Don't go that far. At the same time, I think it's Scorpio nature to have to go through transformations. But yeah, they could definitely learn from Taurus. Yeah, especially in Earth Moon like Mino. Yeah, I believe Mino has a lot of potential of being a great husband. Definitely. I wonder if he's like I don't want the showers to hate me, but what do you guys think about Mino's energy, about Mino's love experience, like love? Maybe if you had been like a shower for a long time, maybe you know something. But I see him like he has the potential of being a good partner, like, and I wonder if he dated in the past. Like I think that I see the potential in him. Like I would be like that guy is not single because he has and also he's very attractive. He's amazing. Like that he is dating not mother material. I could see him having been in long-term relationships at least once. I get that energy from him. Okay. Yeah, showers know they date and we like them to get married already. Yeah, because I sense that definitely he takes commitments very seriously, even though he's a Sagittarius. And I definitely could see like him, like if he meets the one, he would be very loyal. He would like build something long term. You know. I see him as husband material, definitely, definitely. Also a great father, very, very, very fun, but at the same time very, very stable. And of course, we don't want to speculate here about. It's just that I find him so interesting. Oh yeah, yeah, we're done. But I was asking Shawos here actually, hopes, with all the respect, like because I noticed that Mino's energy is very much husband material. Like I could see that guy being someone's husband. So I was asking people here if they knew if Mino had ever dated or if he had been in a long-term relationship. Like I don't. Maybe if you had like I don't know, not the real information, but maybe you would have like a perception that he at some point was in a relationship? Last reading, I think he was with woman having one children next step. Because he has like, I see all this and I'm like, oh, he has a lot of potential, definitely, definitely, like. Why, guys? Sorry, guys. I had to go save my cat. After what happened with Jonghyun, they all went deep undercover with their relationships. Oh, John broke down crying at the concert and apologized for dating. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult. Okay, let's move on to the Magne, to Temin. Thank you guys for the feedback because really like I'm learning a lot about them and their history because honestly I don't know much. So yeah, I had that I don't know, the doubt. So yes, Temin has Venus in Gemini. So yes, the card of flattery we have here, Venus in Gemini. So as you see is the duality, the double-faced. And I believe that he also has Mercury in Gemini. So even though, yes, he is a double Cancer because, his identity is being a Cancer man, emotionally, like on the inside and the outside. When it comes to his relationships, and I think that I've seen this also in Taeyong, in NCT Taeyong, that there's this feeling of like Yeah, they can be very sweet, and they actually like embody the whole sweetness and the whole like innocence of the water placement of being a Cancer male. You know, very romantic, very empathic. You know, you definitely like look at them in the eyes and you are like, oh, that guy is so sweet. Like I would fall in love with him because he's so sweet. Like definitely. They have this very feminine energy integrated in them. But also when you have a lot of Gemini placements in Venus and Mercury, it also lets you know that there's a duality. That even though they are very sensitive, very Cancerian, very emotional, there's a part that is very Gemini that it has to do with actually not being sure about, you know, like being very playful when it comes to being in love. You know, there's something about them, like even when you think that you know about them and you're like, oh, this is a Cancer man. Well, if they have a Venus in Gemini, they are going to be very like elusive. You know, they tend to, you know, like being very curious, and probably they talk to a lot of people at the same time because, you know, Gemini is about communication. So what they find attractive is a good communication, you know, and if they really are interested in you, they are going to bombard you with a lot of messages and they're going to want to talk to you all the time and to keep the communication flowing, you know. So for example, a Cancer man can be shy, you know, they can be, you know, like a bit like, you know, introvert, you know, reserved. But when they are really interested in someone, they start talking. Like they really love to talk. They love to share new ideas. They love to listen. They have, I think that one of the things that makes taming and also I want to say NCT Daeon as well, that it makes them like double threats to women or to their potential partner is that they are good listeners. They are great listeners. And with the Venus in Gemini, they are so good at words. They are so good with words. They will tell you what you want to hear. So they will serenade you. They will do the whole thing. And eventually they could, like, you could actually find out that maybe they do this with others as well, you know, because there's this sense of like, I need novelty, you know, I am so curious about love and relationships. So I don't commit actually, like I don't, actually I can find you attractive and we can have a great moment where we talk about, you know, our favorite food and I talk about my favorite, you know, and we had that great moment, but maybe, you know, then I have that same interaction with someone else. So this is about the Gemini Venus, and also just like any her placement, there's a lot of movement, a lot of changes, a lot of mutuality in this energy. So he can get bored very easily. You know, it's like I don't think that he goes around trying to hurt people, but I think that maybe for him it's like, yeah, this was great, but I am not sure yet if this person is my person. Like I am still like searching for something else. I don't know what it is, but I just know that I have to keep looking. I have to expand my options. I have to begin communication with different people. Sun, Moon, and Mercury in Cancer. He's a soft guy. Taeyeon and Taemin have a lot of placements in common, despite not being from the same year. Cancer Sun, Gemini Sun, Virgo Mars. Yeah, and also that Virgo Mars as well. You know, a lot of Mercury, because Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. So for them, actually, maybe relationships is, you know, I honestly don't see them being that romantic, even though because of all their Cancer placements, you are like, oh, but they are so sweet. And have you seen how sweet they are? And have you seen how they greet the fans? And have you seen that beautiful baby eyes, baby smile that they have? Because this is something that Cancer men have. They look like babies, or they look like children with their big eyes and just beautiful features. They are so beautiful and so angelic that you are like, oh, but did you hear? Did you hear his voice, the way he said things? But in reality, like when you have a lot of Mercurial, it's like for you this is fun, you know, for you to actually like start a connection, feel the attraction, you know, feeling like the need to go and talk to someone and just ask them like, who are you? Oh, how are you know, like, and just talking to them, and everything is really cool, and like everything is exciting, and they are very, and it seems fun, but that doesn't mean that they are like committed 100%, and that this that they have with you, they're going to have it only with you. Because Gemini, they are not very good at focusing, you know, are concentrated in one person. And also a Virgo Mars, just like any Virgo placement, they also get so much in their heads. They probably are very nervous people. Uh, they're very perfectionist. They want the others to be perfect as well. They focus a lot on results and work. So I think that they can have these moments where they start communication with you because they like you and they want to get to know you, and then they just go through these moments of workaholics where work becomes their whole life and identity, and you don't hear from them, and they just disappear, and they maybe never told you like what happened. You know, you're like, but how come if we had been texting every day or sending messages or just talking on the phone every day, where is he? He moved on. You know, he moved on. Just like how fast he can initiate the conversation and the contact, just like that he can finish it and just like disappear in the air. You know, just like this, you know, just like, oh, well, yeah, like, yeah, I moved on, you know, I actually forgot that we were talking, like, you know, I'm so busy. You know, a Virgo Mars is also someone that could potentially be married to his job, you know, and possibly because Mars is also about, you know, how we go after what we want, you know, and our desire. A Virgo Mars is more about like focusing on having perfect results that has to do with career, with achievements. So they're basically married to their job. So I don't see them like being that, like giving you an emotional and sexual and just like very steamy interaction where you are like, oh my God, this is so intense. Oh my God, we are in love. I think that they can be gentlemen, they can be very nice, they can be very nurturing. They can definitely, when you are with them, they make you feel special, because when they look at you, all you see is like, this man is so sensitive, like this man is so sweet, you know, that he reminds me of my mother, you know. So like there's something about them, even though they can look like children, they have that potential of being very motherly at the same time, even though they are very young, or they maybe are younger than you, but they have this potential of being like, let me take care of you, like let me make you feel better. But in this case, I would advise you, if you ever like had a connection with someone with these placements, I would be like, don't get too comfortable. Don't get too comfortable in your mind or in your fantasies, because he has a Venus in Gemini. So I don't guarantee that that person is going to stay. That reminds me so much of my first impression of Temin. I thought he was a good boy, and then I watched Chinese behind videos. He has the duality. He has that duality, and that's his attractiveness as well. You know that you never know what you're going to get with him. I first got to know Temin's personality through Super M documentary. But in Chinese videos, he's so hilarious and playful. He's taking advantage of his magnet status. Have you watched Chinese Hello Baby? Young Temin is hilarious and he's been annoying the rest of the members since way back. Yeah, I know that Taemin and Taeyong are like, you know, the beautiful representation of Cancer energies. And definitely me as a Capricorn, I love them. I think that I would fall for them. But, you know, at the same time with that Mercury and with that Gemini in there, I would be like, I don't know, I would like, you know, I would have my doubts about their stability, you know, because there's a lot of water and a lot of air placements, so I don't see if there's a lot of stability actually, you know. And probably, you know, with them, if they have a Virgo Mars, there's always also this need for perfection and this obsession with, if they are like, you know, very successful in their work, they're probably married to their work. So, you know, for you to have like a spontaneous romantic connection with them, you would have to become their manager or something like that, or their personal choreographer. That's what, you know, when I used to read for Mark, for NCD Mark, but I believe that he has Venus in Virgo. And I was like, for you to get Mark's attention, you have to work with him and for him. He has to work with you. You have to get in his line of vision while he's working. And that's how you get a Virgo placement, you know, because they are always working and they are always like thinking about improving themselves. So either you become their instructor, you become their, I don't know, their coach, their choreographer, their fitness trainee, something like that. But you have to get in their work, because otherwise I don't see these people like, oh, let's go out to a bar to, you know, and you will go out and just meet Mark in there or Taemin or Taeyong. No, they're probably in their houses napping, like taking a nap and just like, you know, playing video games or just being in the workplace and rehearsing over and over and over and over. Another workaholic. He's the type to have an office romance. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, for Taemin, what he has, you know, to work on, for him to actually to integrate better his Venus, he got 11th house, community. The 11th house is the house of Aquarius. So, yeah, I think that in the case of Taemin, probably for him to find love or to be able to connect with this Venus in Gemini, he has to like be part of communities. You know, he has to get out of his house more, and he has to be part of groups. You know, not just the group that he belongs to, more like participate in different like activities where there's group of people, you know, where he can like also expand his curiosity, because he's a very curious guy. You know, with that Gemini placements, he definitely wants to see what's out there. It's just that he's such a Cancer guy. He's a Cancer sun and moon. So probably, you know, he could have his fears about going out, you know, and just wanting to stay at home, you know, and really like, I don't want to go to a place where I don't know people, you know, and him getting very sensitive over leaving his house. But here with the card of community, you know, there's this possibility of him like actually integrating this Venus in Gemini, and him being able to also connect with the curiosity that his Venus has, and to be able to get out and connect with people, connect with group of people. You know, where you will not feel so like exposed is you in a group of people. You are only one of these people. You know, you are not that special. You are treated just like the rest, you know. And also here, since this is the 11th house, this is the Aquarius placement, the Aquarius house. I think that probably an Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Venus would be very good for him, for his Venus in Gemini. He would get along very well with a person that has this placement, because in there he would be able to talk about, you know, just be very unexpected and just being very curious and being very funny, and just like, you know, an Aquarius placement would let him be, you know, be all curious and mutable and just like unexpected as you want. I will not stop you. I will not restrict you. I will not ask you to give me the typical routinary love story or connection. I will let you be free, and you will let me be free, and we'll just talk about weird things together, you know? So I think that he could find love in a community. He could find love in a community of people that share the same interest that he has. It's just that I think that he hasn't found that community yet. He hasn't found his people. But yeah, he needs to go out more. No, but he will find his people. It's just that he needs time. He needs time to probably he needs someone that actually can like guide him or invite him to an event where he's going to be with others, you know, and him just like, because he trusts that person to go. I think his mercurial nature shows in his work. He goes from one concept to the next and the next. He's great that always stretching. Definitely. Yes. Yes, I see him like being that flexible, you know, being that like, yes, it's like I can be romantic, I can be sweet, but I can also have a very creative and weird concept that you are like, oh my, like, did Taemin just turn into this different performer? Yes, he did. And also with, you know, because the Venus in Gemini has, you know, the keyword of flattery. You know, so definitely I think that he just enjoys to be playful in relationships, you know, and I think that probably this is something that maybe he has also with the fans, with Showers, you know, this very flirty kind of connection, you know, like, okay, like, you know, and him just being a mystery, you know, him being a mystery about like people being like, oh, okay, but what does Taemin like? You know, what is Taemin attracted to? What does he find attractive? And actually, Damien doesn't know. Like he could like a lot of things. He could like a lot of people. Like, you know, it's not that it's a mystery, but I think that he can change. You know what? Maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, he said that he liked this certain person or this style. Well, maybe now is the totally opposite, you know, because it's always changing. But yeah, also with the mercurial nature, and I think about his Venus, his Mars in Virgo. Probably he's a bit nervous in connections as well. You know, probably he's not that patient in relationships. You know, probably he just has that energy that because he's always so busy or he's always thinking about work or how to improve himself, he probably is not that romantic. You know, his mind is not that dreamy. You know, he's not the typical guy that he's like, oh, when I meet the one, I will get married, settle down, and have a family. You know, probably for him, the concept of happiness and love is very expansive and it's very different to what others think, you know, or others crave. You know, for him, it all can change in 1 minute. Okay, before I go, I want to pull cards for this new unit of 7 members that are supposedly going to debut with Sumtaro, with Shotaro and Sunchan. That there were rumors that they were filming an MV. In that this group is formed of 7 members, including Suntaro. So yeah, I'm going to pull cards to just see, you know, I believe someone said that they could debut in November or September, something like this. So I'm going to pull some cards to see what's it about. Oh, thank you for being here. Thank you. Today I'm using the card, the tarot deck of Be My Heart. Thank you, Mariana. My hands are freezing. Okay, for this new group that, oh, that Suntaro is in some life. Yeah, actually, I don't know why it's called This My Heart, but yeah, it has you know, like cartoons. It's very cartoonish. It's not that like profound, you know, because like This My Heart, you know, it sounds very dramatic, but it's not that like scandalous actually. Like the messages are the same, and actually it has cartoons, so. So I don't know why why the person decided to name it like this, but okay. Well, we start with the cards of the lovers that I'm covering them because they're naked. The lovers, Ace of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, the Strength. And from the Oracle, I pulled the card of Venus in Sagittarius, flirtation. So they definitely are flirting with us. Probably knowing SM and knowing SM's doings. There's going to be like a lot of hints. Probably they are the ones that are filtering like the information to some people to communicate it to the media. They're like, oh, you should publish that we are working on this and that you saw the members, but don't give too much detail, but choose, so we will leave people at ease, and at the same time, it's like, so they know that we are working. With the Lovers and the Ace of Swords, definitely this group comes from, because of Suntaro, it comes from a lot of a decision that actually that is a bit controversial, that decision that they made. I mean, the good thing is that because we start with the Lovers and then with the Ace of Swords, so there's this feeling that at least a decision was made. Because otherwise we would be in the duality of the Lovers and we would be like, okay, what's going on with Suntaro? Why don't we hear from them? Where are they? And what are you going to do with them? And so I think that this decision was like, okay, let's cut this, let's just like do this. But with the Five of Pentacles, I mean, it's not going to be easy to get this project to function right away and become a huge success. Because I believe that there's something about the money, the part of the finances that is not stable yet. Probably it's not going to be very stable. Like they're going to have to cut some expendings, and probably they're like, oh, remember we had this, we have to launch this group. Like, oh, and we haven't even like finished. Yeah. Their mind is in a lot of places. And they do suffer of lack of resources. Maybe it's because they are like releasing a lot of groups activities, like a lot of artists, SM artists are working, and they are going to keep working. So probably the money is not that good for the group. But also I think that the Five of Pentacles, it shows how people are going to be left with this very bitter feeling of like, oh, look what you made us lose in order to get this. Like, yeah, you took Suntaro away from NCT to put them in here. Why did you do that? So there's a sense of like you made us lose something valuable, any stability that we had with these two. And now you want to introduce this new formation, and it's like, we should be happy, but there's like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be happy as an audience. And probably, people being very sensitive over if they notice that Suntaro is not being treated correctly. So if they expect this group to release them with low budget, I think that the fans are going to hate it. And the fans are going to go online and also complain about this. Like, what's going on? Like, to make it viral, like to make like a hashtag and to just complain and like, why did you do this to the guys? Why did you put them into this very lame situation? But Honestly, I think that eventually, even though it's not going to, and it's not going very prosperous at the moment, I think that they are going to be able to form such a great dynamic and hard work and put their efforts together that they are going to make it. Because they have the Three of Pentacles and the Strength card. So it's about like, okay, with the effort, with the team, we will make it. We will come back stronger. We will overcome this. But the audience has to be very patient. You know, probably there could be some low quality or some decisions that you're like, really? This is how you're going to do this? You know, because honestly, people already had an idea of Sun Tarot. People already know about them. Like, they have a vision of them. So they're like, why did you put them in here? Like, you know, like we don't forget. Like, it's stuck in our mind that they belong somewhere else. You know, so SM could have been making bank on EXO albums and shot themselves in the foot. Pitiful management. Not them shooting themselves in the foot. More like the head. Yeah. We shall overcome. Yeah. Was Shotaro in Dream or NCT? NCT, yeah, NCTU. And just like Sunjam, they both participated in NCTU and well, NCT together with all the members in 2020, I believe they began. People are going to be very not happy, but I think that they are going to see the results. They're going to see the guys like. Because I see the guys, you know, the guys are so good. Like Suntaro, I don't know about the others, but I think that the others are very nice as well. I don't know about them. I only know they're 7. I saw a few pictures here and there, but honestly, the only ones I know is Suntaro. But they are going to make a great team. They're going to make it. They're going to make it. You know, and they are going to show that humility, you know, being very humble and very grateful to have the opportunity. That I think that is going to soften our hearts, and we're going to be like, okay, okay, I will not complain. Okay, you're doing great. We're happy. But yes, definitely what could save this group is for them to work together and to work with what's available and to keep working on their dynamic as 7 members. This is the effort that they put together is actually what can make them stronger in this very competitive environment. But yeah, with Venus in Sagittarius, yeah, with the card of flirtation, yeah, there's like, they want to flirt with us, with this group. You know, they probably, their style is going to be very youthful, very funny, very, you know, very boyish, you know, like very fun. Probably the songs are going to be very much to dance to, you know, with a lot of performances and just them being very smiley and being very, you know, energetic. I sense a lot of Sagittarius energy. I know Shotaro is a Sagittarius, but probably there are other members that are Sagittarius as well. So there's a sense of like, oh, we are so happy together. We are a great, happy, energetic unit. So, and they are practicing a lot. Even if they are not sure yet where they're heading or what's the concept, they are practicing very hard. The good thing here is that I see the guys working. Like, I see them working together. So if this is a rumor that they were shooting MV, I definitely see them. But yeah, the conditions are not great. Honestly, there's not much money involved in this, not yet. So So, but yeah, at least it's a new beginning. At least we have something. Yeah, make a wish. Make a wish, and I think he was in universe as well. I also think 90s love with Sunchan. Yes, yeah. Yeah, then Sunchan's line was iconic. Iconic in 90s love. Yeah, he's a rapper. Mm. Yeah, he was. Yeah, now I cannot watch those MVs. I'm like very disappointed. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. This was fun. But yeah, you should go as well and enjoy your Friday, your weekend. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the recommendation. And yes, next week we're going to continue with the series. I'm going to choose another group. Possibly it's going to be ITZY because someone said that they were having a comeback as well soon. So yeah, we're going to talk a bit about the females in the industry, because sometimes, at least I noticed that we often talk about boy groups, and it would be nice to talk about the girls as well. So yes, thank you guys for being here. Bye.